Hello, hello. Today we have Cowgirl Queen by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Y'all, I don't even know where to start with this one. But we have another palette where it seemed before, the hype before this palette came out was that, sadly, I saw a lot of comments about people not particularly being interested in this palette. I even saw, commentaries about people thinking that this packaging, this boot, was tacky. Now, I feel like I got it. I feel like I understood the vision, okay? Because he was coming out with this, and I was like, Chaperone has been totally in for like the past 2 years. Her vibe is definitely pink cowgirl. She has popularized the pink cowgirl hat. She's the Midwest princess, right? Like, this is what this was giving, and it ties in with Jeffree being in Wyoming, so that also helps. This also feels like an extension of the Star Yak mini palette, Star Yak Ranch mini palette, and so I was like, this makes sense to me. And I really liked the color story. I was interested in the color story. The boot did not turn me off. Apparently the boot turned off a lot of people. It did not turn me off. So when I saw this finally went on sale, I was like, yep, of course, I'm grabbing it, and I was so excited. And once again, like the gold-blooded palette, because once I had the gold-blooded palette in my hands, I was like, oh my god, this packaging is so flimsy and cheap. But I was excited because I thought I was going to give such a raving review. I'm like, no, you guys, the shades, they're still good. And that's kind of how I felt about this one. I'm like, everyone keeps talking about how they hate the shape of this, the color story isn't interesting to them, that's very blah, and I was so excited because I wanted to give y'all just a great review of this palette and check it out and buy it and blah blah blah, and y'all, I'm giving this away. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna give this away. I really do, and I still love this packaging. I like this. I've never seen a shape like this. It comes with a handle to carry the boot, and I think that's really fun. I love it's textured, so this is supposed to be like wood, and it is textured, and then we have this smooth glossiness on the rope and on the name. I really like that. I think that's so cool. I saw a lot of people destroy their palettes by trying to open it up through here, but it actually opens up at the bottom. It does say right here, howdy, open here. Howdy, open here. This is what you're gonna see at the bottom of the palette. So you open it from here, and by opening it at the bottom, instead of destroying your box, because I like to keep the box, we're going to find the palette. This is the boot. She is the boot. And the boot does stand up by itself. Once opened, you can open it up and it does stand. I think, maybe not safe to have it closed. That will fall. But if you open it up a little, it will stay up. This is such good material. I love this boot. I like the boot. A lot of people did not like the boot. I like the boot. I feel like we're having a Western kind of 60s cowboy revival. I think that's really cool. This material, y'all hear that? Listen to that material. That is good material. This does not feel cheap. This does not feel cheap. We have this beautiful gold star, which I haven't even taken the protector off yet. This is all, it's all textured, it's all sparkly. We have some hollow effect up here. We have this gold kind of writing on here that's reflective. On the back, you're not gonna find the ingredients on the back, but just kind of general information. And I like the boot. I'm sorry, y'all. I like the boot. I like the presentation. Unfortunately, that's kind of the best part for me. So there is a small mirror in here, and an appropriately thing. Let's see if I can find something to cover up this mirror. This mirror. Oh my goodness. And this does lay flat, by the way. This does lay flat like this. If you want it to lay flat, it will lay flat. But let's get some sticky notes up here to cover this mirror. So there is a mirror in there. As you can see, I covered it up with some sticky notes. And then on the bottom we have a cowgirl on a horse, kind of riding out into the sun. Very desert vibes. Again, it's lays completely flat. And then here we have the color story, and I still really like the color story. And I absolutely love, the best thing in this palette are the mattes. The mattes really do it for me. The thing that kills me for this palette are the shimmers. And that's just me. It is, I feel like 100% preference. Because with the shimmers in this palette, I feel either you have to be, I don't see like you have to be, but I feel like the preference would either be for someone who's a lot younger, someone who's a teen, or someone who's a lot older than me, someone who's more of a mature lady who maybe doesn't want as shimmery shades, which I completely understand. But these shades are not for me, and I'm really, really heartbroken about it. And I don't think they're necessarily bad. They're just not what I want. And I really wish he would come out, I don't want to say with better shimmers, but I wish he would come out with the types of shimmers that I like, and these are not the types of shimmers that I like. But first I want to start off with, first of all, the absolute standouts. This pink and the blue are absolutely so pigmented, absolutely incredibly pigmented. The, I guess there's a hoof. What is this? Oh, I didn't even realize it didn't have a name. I assume this is called Staryak Ranch. Because it has a horseshoe on it, unless it's a horseshoe. I don't know if you can see right there. It's just a horseshoe with the logo, so I don't know. But these shades are really pretty. These shades were magnificent. These really nicely blended. If you wanted to pack it on and have color, you could do that. If you wanted to just blend out colors, you could do that as well. Let's maybe swatch. Let's do Lasso'd lace, which, as you can also see, as always, he has this little imprints in there. So we got stars with hats, we have horseshoes, and then we have, is that the only boot? No, we have a boot over here and we have a boot over here. Oh no, y'all, I didn't realize it was one of the only boots. Kind of killed the boot. I'm sorry, y'all, but there is a slight boot shape. Let's go over here as well. Some nice, very light shades, and these perform well. You know, these mattes perform as well as you think they will. It's his usual formula, and he has that down. He has it down, okay? Ooh, you can't really see this yellow on my skin. But he has these shades down. They work. Let's maybe do, let's do a brown. Let's do the pink. Ooh, let's do the blue. These are super duper pigmented, y'all. Super duper pigmented. And they work very well. Like I said, I like this. I like the color story. I didn't want to go too deep, because this will 100% stay in my hand, but the shimmer, the matte shades in here are good. I like those. My problem is with the shimmers, I don't see myself reaching for this palette because of the shimmers. The shimmers are more like toppers. It's a very fine shimmer, and it's very subtle, and I'm not about that subtleness. It's very sheer, very sheen, and that's just not for me. Let's do the same shades, but in shimmer form. I mean, the formula feels really nice. This pink was quite good. And there's like a base of color, but it's still quite light. That pink is quite pretty though. That one's actually quite pigmented. But it kind of meshed with the shades that already exist. Like, do you see like how it's kind of just the same shade but in sparkle version? Let me do Alligator Diamonds so y'all can see what I'm talking about more. Then we'll do Yak Disco, a green and a silver. And that's a little bit more what I'm talking about. It's very light, very sparkly. It's still a little sparkly, you know. It's just not as dramatic as I like my shades. Now, like I said, I feel like this would fit very well with a teen who wants a little bit bolder makeup, but still nothing too crazy for their age. But I also think of, you know, someone like around my mom's age. I find that ladies or people who wear makeup with more mature skin don't really like sparkle as much as I like sparkle. So if you're one of those ladies, I think you're gonna like this palette. You'll like the shimmer and the level of intensity and sheerfulness and impactfulness of these types of shimmers, but not for me. They're just, I really, really like an opaque shimmer, and these are a little bit more translucent, and the material's very fine, so I think it's quite long lasting, but I just don't think it's for me. And then additionally, which I didn't notice until today, I don't know if the camera's going to capture it, there is some leakage. I have some oil staining over here from this pink shade. I don't know if it'll catch it. There is some, and it's not this. It's not part of the background. There is some oil leakage for that pink shade. I'm not sure why. And then we have this shade over here that I was kind of excited about when I was swatching it. And I was like, ooh, I think this one's a metallic. I think this one's just hard panned a little. Do you see that? How smooth it is? And I thought, oh, I think it's kind of hard panned. And I was excited because that was my swatch. And I was like, ooh. And that's what I have on my eyes today. And then I applied it on my eyes. This is a lot better swatch on on my arm than on my eye, but on my eye, this is so more subtle. It's a little bit more. Let's see if I can get it to look the way it does on my eye. I'm trying to get it on my eye, right? I didn't even go into it with a brush because I thought, oh, I really want this to be intense. I want it to look right. This is a really nice swatch, but it's giving a little bit more this on the eye, okay? Because this is how you apply it on your eye. You're not applying it like a swatch. And you can kind of build it up. And it's pretty and it's light, but it's not for me. I'm really sad. I really like the matte shades in this, though. But I'm kind of like, if I were to steal any shades from this, I would really love to steal these two. I really liked these two browns. The browns are really nice. We have this other shade here, which, do you see how loose this shade is in here? You can see the pan move when I'm digging into that shade. And I was really excited because it looks like a brown with a kind of blue shift. Ooh, that's kind of more what I'm talking about. It's so light. It is so light. There's like no color. It's just very sheer. If you're a sheer gal and you want a little bit of pop of color, that's what you're kind of getting with the pinks and the blues. This isn't really that crazy of a palette. But, I mean, look at this color story. I love the color story. I really, really do. I just can't see myself. And I love the packaging. I actually really like the boot. I just don't know if I would ever... I don't think I would ever reach for this palette again when I don't really like the shimmers in this. This is not for me. I feel like this is for someone else, but I don't think that makes it necessarily a bad palette. I just don't think this is for me. I'll see who I end up passing this over to, because I really would like this to get used, and I'm sure there's someone out there who's gonna absolutely love these kind of more soft makeup that's a lot more like a topper than it is like a shimmer or a metallic or like a flake. Those mattes are wonderful though. Those mattes are definitely wonderful. He knows what he's doing with his mattes. I want to see him continue to play with the shimmers because these shimmers were just not for me. Let me know down below what you think of this boot. Do you also think it's a tacky boot? How do you feel about the color story? I really love the color story. I love the durability, the good material of the palette. I do recommend it. I really do recommend it. I know I'm giving it away and I wasn't happy with it, but I do recommend it to someone who likes this kind of formula. The matte formula is poppin'. I think the shimmer formula just needs someone who specifically loves that kind of sheen.